Just this week, guns, wallets, thousands of dollars in cash, and other valuables have been reported stolen to Chatham County Police. Masked men sneaking through yards in the middle of the night, checking door handles. A crime all too easy for them. Many people don't want to go through TSA. Either they say it takes too long or they don't want to check their bag, but TSA checkpoint in this case made a big difference. One of those officers noticing something was off with one pilot before he even stepped foot on the plane. It's been nearly 2 weeks since Tropical Storm Debbie came through the coastal empire and low country. And as you can see, Highway 17 is still closed, leaving thousands of drivers wondering when it will reopen. While the proposed ordinance looks to penalize people who leave their car doors unlocked, Mayor Johnson wants you to take an extra step by putting away your gun in a place like your glove compartment and locking it. I'm standing right where that gangway collapsed, and now the area is boarded up. The Department of Natural Resources is investigating this incident, but attorneys are raising questions as to how this could have been prevented. Well, Kennedy Sanders' military career began right here at Ware County High School through the JROTC program. Her mother says she was then on to the Army Reserves, which she loves so much. The 24-year-old was looking into enlisting as a full-time soldier, a dream that was taken away from her in an instant. Well, at least one family member of another detainee reached out to News 3 telling us about their concerns for safety at the detention center moving forward, wondering if this detainee got the care they needed. I took those questions straight to Sheriff Coleman. He practiced law here in this area for over 45 years, and now Judge Stephen Yeckel, according to investigators, was found dead inside the Effingham County Courthouse. Well, the school day today at Richmond Hill High School started off with a moment of silence dedicated to Sam Lilly. While he walked the halls here 11 years ago, teachers and coaches both told me today that his bright smile and his positive attitude have a lasting impact. Well, Ben and Tina, this community has never seen destruction or flooding quite like this. I'll let you take a look at the scene right now. Many of these people having to clean out their entire homes. Now, much of these items hold memories for these people, and now they're going to be thrown away. This pile almost as tall as I am. I'm standing here on the curb here on Rushing Street, but I'm going to take a step off just to show you how deep it is right now. Well, Andrew and Tina, the water has risen just a little bit today since we were here yesterday on Rushing Street. That water now coming up over the curb and into these people's yards. Much of this city is surrounded by major state highways and roads. Like this area right here, Walton Street turns into Highway 17 back here behind me, and they're fortunate because the Georgia Department of Transportation has done a lot of the work for the county. Still a good amount of people out on the roads tonight, but get where you're going and stay there safely and get warm. Now, before I leave you, I did promise Tina Ty Shaw a snowman. While I didn't make this one back here, it does have some gloves on. The EMS and fire officials here in Bryan County made it, but I did add a nice little WSAV touch, and it has a nice scarf on him. I think we're going to name him Scott Roberts. Still a lot of snow and ice on the roadways right now, and while it is melting, it's still a really big hazard for those planes. I'm going to step out of the way and let you get a closer look at conditions right now. Now, Toodle says there's something for everyone, and if rides aren't your thing, you can always stuff your face with a funnel cake. Reporting in Statesboro's Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side. While there is so much to celebrate, you can see that standing water on the road right here behind me, and it is an eerie reminder of what could happen if there is another heavy rain event. But Donna says they will remain here and they will remain open. They're excited for this weekend.
The co-pilot of the American Airlines flight was from right here in the coastal empire and a 2018 Georgia Southern University graduate. Continuing our team coverage now, WSAV Sarah Smith. She spoke to friends of First Officer Sam Lilly. She is joining us now to share their conversation.
Well, he's First Officer Lilly to some, but to many others, he's just their good friend Sam. Tonight, friends and family are remembering and mourning him, many of them devastated by the news of his death.
It's a tragedy, but it's even more of a tragedy when you consider the person he was.
First Officer Sam Lilly, remembered by friends as a kind soul. At just 28 years old, he had a bright future ahead of him. Recently engaged and employed as a commercial pilot for American Airlines. Friend Caitlin Sells proud of all of his accomplishments, but mourning the life taken from him.
If there's anyone out there that didn't deserve all this, Sam.
Sells says he was someone who would go out of their way to cheer you up. She says Lily was never in a bad mood, and he was passionate, not just about flying, but also his faith. Tanner Hicks was a high school friend.
We went on a mission trip together to Ecuador through the church, and that was when I really first saw him, who he was as a person, his heart, his compassion towards others. Any conversation I had with him was very genuine, very kind, down-to-earth person. Never said anything bad about anyone.
Sells described him as, quote, happiness encapsulated in a person.
He's a person that lived life to the fullest and was just the happiest person around and was himself without any reservations or holdbacks, and was a take me as I leave me kind of person. Yeah, I want to live like he lived.
And I have talked with Sam's dad, Tim, and he shared with me this is just too hard to talk about on camera right now. But in a post on Facebook, Tim talked about how proud he was of his son and said, quote, it is so devastating to lose someone that is loved so much. Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side. Many people see the American dream as owning your own home, car, and settling down with those you love. But buying a home in a competitive market like Savannah can be a nightmare. One local realtor says the secret to achieving that kind of lifestyle, creativity.
Isn't that what the American dream is? Freedom, like having rental properties, being able to sell your house for so much more equity, like that gives you huge freedom to be able to do what you want to do every day.
Investing in properties is what Savannah realtor Chelsea Phillips knows best. Since 2010, she has been helping buyers and sellers achieve their goals, focusing on properties in downtown, midtown, and Ardsley Park. But the housing market has changed drastically, impacting the people who work, play, and visit Savannah.
The housing market in Savannah has completely changed. The prices have doubled. The median price of a Savannah home from $170 to $340. I mean, that's a big change. Have salaries risen that much? Absolutely not.
She says the COVID-19 pandemic changed a lot, leaving the United States at a 45-year low for affordability.
The interest rates are at the highest point they've been in 25 years. And not only that, our rent rates are insane. Like in the last year, Savannah rent rates have gone up by 23%. That's what? How are people supposed to deal with that?
In an effort to make the process easier, Phillips has a list of questions that she goes through with future home buyers.
How long are you going to be in this house? What's your goal? Is your goal just to enjoy it? You're going to be there for 10 years? Cool. And you have a lot wider parameters than for someone who's like, in a stage of their life that's going to change really quickly.
She says she never wants to steer people away from renting, but there can be major reward from investing in properties, but it is competitive. Phillips says recent data shows there is an average of 5 offers on every property, and 1 of 6 buyers is an institution, possibly taking those properties off the market for good. She says working with clients who have a specific budget and certain preferences is difficult, but doable if they keep an open mind.
There is still opportunities in everything. You just have to be more creative. You have to work with people who are creative and who are going to make sure that they align that with your goals. And no, you're not going to get your dream house the first time.
That creativity can come out in a variety of ways, with flooring, light fixtures, even the color paint you choose for your door and shutters. But she says to be smart about the choices you make. According to Phillips, homes with black or charcoal front doors can sell for $5,000 more.
We can walk through it and they're like, oh my gosh, I really hate tile countertop. Well, that's $3,500. Or, oh my gosh, this has a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. Okay, well, there's space here. We can add another bathroom. And yeah, that might cost you $10K, but on resale, it'll bring you $35, $40.
I took a tour of 3 newly renovated homes in Savannah. Phillips says if you educate yourself enough, you can tell which renovations were well thought out.
You can tell all the electrical's been done in the baseboard. It's all smooth, new drywall.
She says it's important to treat your first few homes as stepping stones to get to where you eventually want to be.
You have to approach it as, this is my way of accomplishing my American dream, not this is the end product. It is the journey to get there.
Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side.